Middle of the day chilling. Hope everybody's having a super mega awesome day. I decided to call this a car rider conversation. You know, 5 days a week, I got to go pick up my kids from school, like most parents do. And I'm really big on pushing for fathers and fatherhood and standing up for your children. So I wanted to show the world that men take care of their kids. So we about to go pick my babies up from school as we do 5 days a week, and just have a positive conversation while we ride. You know, 'cause we need a lot more positivity in the world. There's so much negative things going around. That's all you hear. So what's it like to have somebody positive on a daily basis? So you can reach your goals, reach your dreams. That's all we want to be. We ain't where we at right now? 38th and Prospect, because the world will make you think that there ain't no open-minded black people in inner cities and urban areas. So I just want to start showing people where I'm from, what I do. You know, your mind is your most beautiful asset, and I'm a firm believer, man. Every human is a genius. We're all born geniuses. We're all born great. Society slowly beats it out of us. So I just hope I can help people spark that genius back in them. You got any comments? You got anything you want me to holler about? You want to know? Let me know. But like I was watching TV this morning, and I saw it said, of course the Chiefs won, but I'm probably the only person in Kansas City who doesn't watch football. But it said that 90% of the TVs, 90% of the TVs was on tune on the Chiefs game last night, and I'm cool with that. I'm fine with people, supporting their own team and all that stuff. But what if 90% of people in this world was committed to their own dreams, to their own goals, to becoming a better father, a better husband, a better wife, a better mother, a better whatever, getting in better shape, having a better diet. Just I sit around and I see how everybody around here is so obsessed with the Chiefs, and it's cultish to me. Like, just because you're born in Kansas City, you shouldn't be obsessed with the Chiefs. Just because you're born in New York, you shouldn't be obsessed with the Jets or the Giants. You should be an individual. You should solely be yourself. And I think the greatest mystery in this world to all of us is who we really are, I mean, from the minute you're born, your parents influence you. Then you start going to daycare, and the daycare influence you. And then you get friends, and you start listening to music, and then find your favorite movie or something that influences you as well. And here you are, you're 27 years old, and you have no idea authentically who you are to yourself. And it happens, because I know, man, I had to find myself. I don't really think I discovered myself about 26, about 25, 26. I can honestly say I spent the first 25 years of my life living straight in survival mode, not thinking about the next week, the next month, the next year, but solely thinking about the next hour. And that's what a lot of people, go through when they grow up in these urban environments. So when you're in survival mode, you operating solely out of your lower self. I didn't even know that there was a difference between a higher self and a lower self. I didn't even know that you can tap into the higher mental faculties in life until about 6, 7 years ago, when life got a little easier, when it wasn't so stressful, when we was able to pay our bills consistently and put food on the table, when it finally was the first time. Damn, this is what it's like not to struggle. So that's why it's so hard for me to, even though a lot of our hip hop artists produce negative content and what they put out into the world is negative energy, man, I think a lot of them don't even know what they're doing, because they come from an environment like they were just trying to eat. And somebody threw them some millions of dollars, and they 20 years in, and you in that contract, so you stuck trying to take care of your family and don't even realizing how much damage you're doing to your own community that you so-called trying to help, trying to get that fast money. And so you understand the hardships. You understand the person who went to the casino and gambled off all their money when they should have been more responsible with it, because they was down on themselves and they was trying to make themselves feel happy. You understand the girl who go get her nails done with her last $20, $30 just because that uplifts her spirits. My mama was that way. we broke as a fool, but if my mama could get her hair done and her nails done, man, that really made her feel like she was doing something with herself. In reality, it wasn't doing a damn thing. My daddy though, man, my daddy could get off work and get him a camo or a Budweiser or a Colt 45 and sit with his feet up, man. He felt like he did his thing for the day. And that's what I think about all humans, man. We all are stressed and we're looking for a way to escape consciousness. And the world gives you 1,000,001 different ways to escape consciousness, whether it's sex, drugs, alcohol, porn, sports, late night talk show radio, gossip, presidency, Black Lives Matter, white supremacy. I mean, it's something to rent out space in your mind. And if you've ever read Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, man, he talks about that's all the devil is unoccupied space in your mind, which allows room for negative thoughts. Because when you're fully consumed on a mission or a goal or a plan or a purpose, you're 100% locked in. So it ain't no time for no doubts, no insecurities, no fears, no worries, or what if this go wrong? I'm engaged and we're going to make this happen. But when you got, open space in your mind, then you can, oh, what if this don't work? Well, you ain't good enough. Such and such is better than you anyway. They won't like you. No one won't even support you. Why would you try anyway? That's all that negative self-doubt. That's what the devil is. And that's why you got to have supreme faith in yourself, man. Every time a negative comment or a negative thought pops in your head, you got to be able to change it with something positive. Like every morning, what I've been doing really good. Every morning when I wake up, I've learned to say, thank you God for this day, and every day gets better and better. And something I taught my daughter to do yesterday. Every time she plays soccer before the game starts, I told her to take a minute and say, thank you God for letting me play the game I love. Because there's so many things that we could be grateful for on a daily that would just start our day or just in a better mood and get us rolling on a better ball. But it's easy to wake up and not want to get out the bed. But what if you woke up and just said, thank you, God? Damn, my hands work. Damn, my feet work. My eyes work, my hips, my knees, my ankles. One thing that Earl Nightingale says a lot that really sticks with me is that everything that really matters in life we get free. Our mind, our body, our hopes, our dreams, our desires, our fears, our love, everything that matters to us, our love for our family, our love for our pets, our love for our country, that comes to us free. But the things that we place so much value on, we can replace. I can have 20 houses, I can have 15 cars, I can make $1 million this year, losing and make $5 million a year after that. But I can't replace my daughter, I can't replace my son. Yeah, we take so much for granted, man. I can't replace my wife. Anybody who has children, man, know how much children can make your head go crazy. But at the end of the day, you love them, and you can't replace them. And that's the beautiful thing about life, man, is that we're all able to reflect. Because no one's perfect. Everyone loses their cool for a minute, and everyone needs to calm down. And that's why meditation is so key. I got 7 children, so if you think I don't need to meditate, you have no idea. I'm always looking for a moment of quiet or peace or solitude just to take a solid, nice breath. Because man, life is overstimulating, and that's what they've done it purposely with the apps with breaking news. Every app you download, the first thing it asks you is, do you want to receive notifications? Because I want to be engaged with your ass 24/7, 365. It ain't like they're about to give you nothing positive. And the craziest part about technology, like I downloaded the Bible app, and my notifications for the Bible app wouldn't work. But if it was about a police shooting, I guarantee that you would make sure that notification gets through because you want to cause divisiveness in the world. And that's the most disheartening part is, man, I honest to God believe most people are good people. Most people want to raise their children and have a decent life. But our school systems and the powers that be have corrupted people so much that left is right, up is down, and they confused. And I hope I can inspire more black people to speak against this oppressive victimhood narrative. I think that's the ugliest thing in the world is that someone can look at me and assume because I'm black that I'm oppressed or I'm a victim or I went through a hardship or that I don't believe myself. And the world always talks about uplifting black voices. But where's the people who have supreme confidence, who know they can accomplish anything? Where's the Booker T. Washingtons, the Frederick Douglass, the Marcus Garveys, the Jack Johnsons, And the other part about critical race theory is if it eliminates everyone who doesn't fit the oppressive narrative. I've never heard school talk about Ralph Waldo Emerson. He, like Ralph Waldo Emerson, like I said, Earl Nightingale, Napoleon Hill. Those are anybody who was Wallace D. Waddles, anybody who was really intellectual, really enlightened. Society kind of pretends they never existed. I believe Earl Nightingale also said, man, you can look up James Allen. It's like 40 James Allens listed higher than the guy who wrote As a Man Thinketh. To where if anybody would read that book today, they would understand it. And that's like the easiest guide through life. We become what we think about. If you whatever you plant in your brain, it will manifest into reality. And so you have to look at our media and understand, why is it planting so much drugs in our brain, sex, murder? Why is it telling young children that you could be boys or girls when we all would agree that your thoughts manifest into reality? We all would agree that. I don't think you'll find one person that would dispute that claim. So then you got to say, well, why are we putting this content in front of our children? Because what I found out about myself, man, getting into this public figure stuff and with the negative comments and the people who don't like you for speaking truth, is I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to protect the kids and to look out for the old people. I love my mama was my goat, and she's not here today. But I just talked to my daddy probably like 2 hours ago, and I've always had respect for my elders. And all babies need to be protected. I think it's so unfortunate of how many children grow up in homeless shelters or get abandoned or get abused, and then the world don't even protect them. Like it's enough you got to come from a shitty family, and then you got to deal with a shitty world or a shitty school system. It's so disheartening. Like there's so many kids who are gay or trans, and something happened to them when they were a child, and they're still suppressing that issue, and no one wants to talk to them to see what's going on. There's so many guys who are murderers or shooters, and it's all stemming from them being a broken, lonely 3-year-old little boy. Correct. Yeah, and if you can keep them if you can keep the world in victim mode, though, it's profitable. It's super profitable to make people feel like they can't do something. Because if I don't feel good about myself, then the only other option is to go purchase something to make me feel better. Getting my nails done, getting my hair done, going to the strip club and throwing money in the air, buying some new shoes, putting some rims on my car. There's all these small things to fill the void. And I'm a firm believer, man. When you can fill that void within yourself with self-love, then you don't need to buy anything, because I think God created each one of us perfect. That's just my opinion. That's just my thought, and you can dispute that, but there's nothing wrong with you as an individual when you sit still and look within yourself. Have you had bad experiences? Yes. Have you had things that you haven't liked? Yes. But you've learned from all of them, and everything that you go through in life literally makes you the person you are. Like I don't regret anything I've been through, from the homeless shelters. Like I said earlier, I was talking about sneaking food into the homeless shelter when I was a kid. And the reason I said sneaking is because if you ever lived in a homeless shelter, you know they don't let you take food up in your room. Everybody eats down in the cafeteria. It's kind of like school. It's the same tables that they got inside of a school. They got them at the homeless shelter. The tables are inside of the cafeteria. You go down, you get in the line. Swear, everybody stand in line. They get their tray like in school. You stand around, you eat. Your mama go sit by whoever she friends with in the shelter, and you sit by the kids. And then y'all eat and y'all disperse back to y'all room. But like I think back of those memories living in that homeless shelter, and I wonder like where some of all those other kids are. Because the key for me is I still have my dad. I remember we used to have to walk like a block away and meet my father on Saturdays, living in the homeless shelter. That's why I say my dad is everything. Because no matter what I've been through in life, no matter how much I didn't appreciate him or respect him, he still stood up and was a father to me and my brother. And so many young boys are missing fathers. So many. And that's not to say that mothers aren't important, but iron sharpens iron. My mom, no matter as great as she raised me, she couldn't have made me a man. As great as my wife is raising my son, she can't make him a man. That's my job. You can ask her yourself. And the way he responds to me is totally different than the way he responds to her. But I think that's natural. I think life is supposed to be that way. Every child needs both parents. But once again, society, if government can step in and play the role of the daddy, well, there you go. Like I think the term single mother, it puts like the biggest target on every woman's back. It leaves you vulnerable. You're a lioness out with your cub. Who are you scaring? In what world are you threatening? Trying to, you gotta either protect that cub or try to fight me. That's just not how society is meant to work. There's a reason that any movie it had the dad up front and the mom got the baby. In a single mother's household, if there's a loud bang at 3 a.m., what do you do? Because I know in my household, I'm gonna go see what's going on, and my wife gonna stay back. But when I was a child, if something happened, my dad went to check it out, not my mama. All of the worst situations that we were in were when my dad was in jail. Just because my mom responded differently to stress than my father did. Just because that's natural how men and women operate. If we were doing really bad and we needed some money or some food, my dad could easily go fix somebody's brakes on somebody's car, go cut some grass. There always is some odds and ends manly work to go get some fast money. But for my mom, I remember one time she took me and my brother to Pizza Hut buffet on Linwood. Where right now it's Turkish chicken, but it used to be White Castle. And we went in there to Pizza Hut buffet and we sat down and we ate. And when we were done eating, my mom was like, "All right, let's go." And I'm like, "What?" And we get up and we leave. Me, my mom, and my little brother. And the Pizza Hut workers were like, "Hey, hey." And when I hear them talking, my mama tell us run. I'm a little track star, so I was gone. So I get like a block away. My mom was overweight, so of course she couldn't run that fast. Love you, rest in peace, mama. You was slow. And my little brother, he ran real slow too. He acted slow. I love you, Brandon. You know you slow. So the police come. Long story short, and catch us. I'm disappointed because we got caught. But after my mom starts crying and explains the story to the police of why we did the dine and dash thing, the police officer actually paid for the meal. It was cool. So that's why I say all police ain't ever been bad. I've never had a negative thought of how police work because I was in that reality. So those police officers paid for us to eat that time. But there's no way in hell my dad would have ever put me and my brother in a situation for something like that to happen. Versus with my mom, we were kind of like her badge, her shield to wherever she did something. It was like, I'm doing it for my kids, but it's for my kids' sake. And that's what I learned through life. But inside the household, she taught me that she could do that she could use that as an excuse, but as a man, that wouldn't work for me. And as I got older, I got to see how she was able to manipulate the system. One of the best things about my parents, like we had domestic violence really bad. Like it's weird because they had a really good relationship, but it was a really bad relationship. Like when they were good, they were good, but when they were bad, goddamn, it was like WWF SmackDown times 10. My dad took chairs and smashed tables and shit. It used to be rough growing up in that house because I was a confused kid. Now as a grown man, I know, man, they were just two broken adults trying to figure out what the hell they was doing and raising their children. But being on Section 8, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. But being on Section 8, I think everyone knows you can't have a father. So my dad still lived with us, but every year we would just hide all this stuff when we had our Section 8 inspection and pretend he didn't live with us for a day. Um, and funny story, I'll get to that later. But yeah, so every year we had our Section 8 inspections, and we would just hide all my dad's things and pretend he didn't live with us. But as a kid, I can honestly say, man, that made me not respect my father for a while. I didn't understand the situation that was going on. I didn't know how the logistics and legalities of owning a hood, a house, and government assistance. I was just a child, and I should have stayed in the child's place. And that's one thing I wish my mom would have done a lot better. It's told me to respect my father and made me to respect him. But once again, my mom used me as a shield and a badge of honor. And since they had domestic violence, she would like put me in between my father for a while. So I resented him. I was disrespectful towards him. I used to fight my father on behalf of my mother. She's like, make me fight him. I I didn't get to play basketball my senior year of high school because my mom and dad were fighting, and my dad had went outside and closed the door, and my mom locked it. And my dad said, "Open this door, or I'm gonna break the window." And I didn't want the goddamn window broken in the house, so I unlocked the door myself. My dad still breaks the window, man. So I opened the front door, I jump off the porch, and I just remember just punching him in the face over and over and over. And then I remember my brother pulled me off of him, and I came in the house, and I went in the bathroom, and I just started laughing, like really hard, just hysterically laughing, and look at my hand, and it was like 7 times big. Like you've ever seen a Nutty Professor, my hand was just massive, a super swollen. And I just couldn't stop laughing because that's Johnny. That's how I've always been, man. I laugh to deal with my pain. Growing up in poverty and going through hard times, I never knew how to cry. You hear, "Shut up, you can't cry, you can't be soft." So anything that really hurts me, I've just learned to like laugh through it. And that just kind of helped me in life always keep growing. And everyone thought I was a funny person. I just kind of was disconnected from reality and broken on the inside. But the next day, my mom took me to Children's Mercy Hospital, and the doctor was like, "What happened to your hand?" And I lied and said I fell it, broke it playing basketball. And the doctor was like, that looks like a boxer fracture. And I was just stuck. I was like, yeah, I kind of punched my dad. But full circle, I love my dad. He's my best friend. I talk to him every day. Even though he totaled out my first car when I was 16 years old, I had a 1985 Cutlass Sierra. It was gray, rusted on the sides. The driver door only opened from the outside. The passenger door only opened from the inside. I bought it for $675 cash from my first job, which was Fritz Railroad Restaurant, Crown Center. Made $5.15 plus tips. When I turned 16, I walked to Crown Center, which was like 10 blocks away from my house, and I went to every store in there and asked for a job application. So this concept of people being lazy or not wanting to work, man, I was 16 getting it out the mud, helping my mom and daddy pay the light bill. But these new age generation kids are saying, I need $15 an hour. And it's like, what? I would have been a terrible person if I got $15 an hour at 16 years old. I would have blew the money. I mean, because you would have had access to money, and you're not young enough to know about investing and saving and wealth and making anything responsible choices. So it's a trap. So I was able to evolve past that, but we were never able really to keep our utilities on. Like our lights, gas, and water got cut off consistently. Like I can't really think of many times in my childhood where we had all utilities at the same time. If we did, it was kind of like a holiday type stuff. But after you get your utilities cut off so many times, Section 8 just evicts you. So my mom had lost her Section 8 because we couldn't keep our utilities on. So bring that full circle was my wife and children. We actually have that same house, same Section 8 house that I was in when my parents had extremely bad domestic violence. When the drug dealer got shot on the front porch, we live there now. The neighborhood is 1,000,000% different. There's no black people at all. It's almost an all LGBT neighborhood. I'm the only one with kids in the neighborhood now. But what that taught me is I never lived in the ghetto. We just weren't taught to value our own property. See, I can't be mad if you buy my house for $10,000, and then you fix it up and sell it for 100,000 because I could have took care of that as well. I could have planted those proper seeds as well to get a better outcome in my environment. And when I look around the inner city, I try to spread seeds to people that you get out of life what you put into it. So take care of your garden. Make it fruitful and watch it multiply and be plentiful for you and your family. Because that's literally how life works. I don't know one person who could say I just woke up and was successful. Everyone I know that was successful, they had to put in work, and it was day in and day out, and it was a grind. And everyone wants to quit, but do you quit before you reach your goal, or do you just stick with it and do you keep grinding? Because if I quit, I'm not back in this same house in this same neighborhood, so my mind can really open. Because when I lived in this house as a child, the neighborhood was ghetto, and every house was Section 8, and it was drug dealers, and it was prostitutes walking all around. And now I'm in this same neighborhood, and the mayor jogs up and down the street every morning. Every morning you can see Mayor Quinn Lucas jogging. And damn sure he wouldn't have came in that neighborhood 15 years ago when they was outside with them chops. But it shows everything can be beautiful if you make it that way. It's all a personal choice. You become what you think about. And if you plant positive seeds, you'll eventually receive positive benefits. But you got to find a way to coach your mind in gratitude in this negative ass world. It ain't easy. Like as much as I'm positive now, I wasn't this Johnny 5 years ago or 7 years ago. I remember I hated being on camera just because when you come from such an urban environment, you got a dark mind. All I know is people dying and getting shot. I've had so many guns pulled on me for being better at people than basketball. I've beat people at basketball, and they didn't pull a gun out on me. You done been at the basketball court and people start shooting, and you got to get down real fast. Like it's hard to smile. It's hard to have a good outlook on life when that's your reality. But as we evolve past that, you get that you have to let go of the things. You have to divorce yourself from your past. You can't hold on to everything negative because nothing really in life is good or bad. It's all just lessons that we learn through this thing called life. And all consciousness and spirit wants to do is evolve. So do you allow it to evolve, or do you stay stuck in that same mind frame? And with me, man, with evolving, it's beautiful because I look at everybody else and it's like, oh, they'll get it. Because nothing around you is bad if you would agree that we all evolve on our own, right? Like I was into Pokemon when I was a kid. I don't know about y'all. Got to catch them all. I was into Pokemon when it was 151 Pokemon. Then it went 250. Then it went 350 and all that. And honest to God, like I love being transparent. I went to go see the first Pokemon movie. If anybody saw that as well, let me know in the comments. When Pikachu died and Ash started crying in the movie, I teared up a little bit. I was in the fifth grade though, so it was okay. But yes, I cried when I seen the Pikachu movie. But I just say that because I want people to like know that I'm human. We are all human. I cried when I graduated from my fifth. When I cried in my preschool graduation, and I got a picture to show it. And it was because all the attention was on me. I was on stage and everybody was looking at me, and I just never have been okay with the spotlight. I cried in my fifth grade graduation. I cried when I graduated from the eighth grade, and my last day of high school. I remember. I just told my wife this story the other day. I came home and I sat on the couch and I just cried. And I looked at my mom and I was like, Mom, I don't know what I'm about to do. Like, seriously, I have no idea. Like, half my friends are already dead. I'm watching people go into jail. I never in a million. I didn't even think about going to college. That wasn't even a thought. I knew I wasn't going to the NBA, but I didn't know what life was gonna go next, and it was so hard to take that next step to keep moving. Like I remember, I had a friend Jaquan, shout out for RIP. That I was talking to him at school on like a Tuesday, and the next day we writing RIP on his locker. Like that was my environment. So I was just around all these people to where, oh, we about to go hoop, and it's like, damn, Jeff dead. Like I just saw him 2 hours ago. So when that show environment, I didn't really know what a lot of these people had going on because we just played basketball together. I wasn't in a personal life, so my mind and with society, you black and you could get shot by the police, and I was in that paranoid age. I'm an 18-year-old black boy. They tell you ain't supposed to make it till 25. That's all you hear. You know, Kanye West has a song called "We Don't Care" on his first album, College Dropout, and the chorus says, "We wasn't supposed to make it past 25. Jokes on you, we still alive. Throw your hands up in the sky and say, we don't care what people say." And when you hear that, your whole life, you're not supposed to make it to 25. You're going to live reckless as hell. I know I did. And then if you knew that you can get past that, you would have made better choices. Like currently, right now, while I'm sitting in the car on YouTube, I have an opportunity to go play basketball next month in the Dominican Republic. I'm a married father. But if 12 years ago that I knew that I still could be pursuing my dream of being a professional basketball player, I would have made different choices. But the world keeps us so negative that what we can't be and what we can't do and what we can't become. As great as I am at basketball, I didn't think I could go far at it. Now I'm a trainer and my children play and I'm still getting to be involved in the game I love. But what if I wasn't hearing my whole life that I was going to get killed because I was black? What if I wasn't always hearing that what I can't be, or that you're oppressed, that you're a victim, and you was a slave, and America's racist? If I don't hear that my whole life, I'm a lot further than where I am right now. And granted, I'm extremely happy with my life. I'm doing great, happy, healthy, wealthy, blessed, abundant. All glory to God. I could be light years ahead. But I say that to talk about current society and where we are with white children. That's toxic masculinity. He can't say that. He can't do that. You know, one of the things I always say is I couldn't imagine trying to raise a white son in today's society when everything is toxic and everything is masculine, it's negative. I want my sons to be masculine as hell, and I hope every white guy who comes across any video I got, he raised his sons the same way. Don't give a damn about these people. They can't control you. They can't tone you down. If the world thinks the things I say are controversial, if y'all heard my daddy talk, oh my God. If y'all heard my daddy talk, y'all would think that I was Joel Osteen. Because I think anyone can tell you, if you had a grandpa in your life, I'm sure he said some vulgar stuff. And the other side about that is, as a man, most of the things that you need to hear are uncomfortable. You need to hear some uncomfortable truths that will push you forward. Because this soft coddle, this participation trophy generation, that ain't where it's at. I don't want a trophy for participating in shit. I want to be the best. I want to be the greatest. I want to beat you. I'm Tom Brady. I'm Michael Jordan. I'm Kobe Bryant. I take no prisoners. And I think every man should be that way. We are competitors. We are animals by nature, blood sport. So this whole let's no man. The better you are, the better you push me. So if you beat me in basketball 99 times, you better believe I'm coming back 100 for your ass. I'm not gonna say, oh, you beat me. That's not fair. But that's how we raising these new kids. Or we're raising kids to say, well, you won last time. Don't go on and give them a chance. No. You stomp on their ass. Beat them by 50. Beat them by 100. I don't care. The world always wants you to tone down your greatness. Why? No, tone it up. Be proud of yourself. If you work hard for something, you should be able to put your shoulders back, flex your chest, and say, hell yeah, I did that. This is who I am. This is what I've become, and I'm proud of myself. Because every human should be extremely proud of themselves. You know, the world, like that's the thing about Kanye is when you hear Kanye talk, you be like, God damn, this dude feel like he God. But in reality, we are all gods. Everybody, every single one of us is a God. It's spirit inside of this body. This is everything that I'm saying right now. This is spirit. This is God. This is God coming out of me to this phone. I don't know where it's coming from. Children running the car now. And if you listen to me, you God. God is encased in your human flesh. Hey, how everybody doing? I'm about to get the cheer. We live. Where the rest of them?
Since when did you get this?
And like I said, man, I want to show the reality. Like I'm really a father, and I feel you should do anything for your children. And this is 5 days a week, picking them up. Every morning. I make breakfast. I pack snacks. I get them on a school bus because this is what men need to do. Men have to take ownership of their family and take full accountability for the things they create. I tell all 4 of these little kids I shouldn't have had them. My daughter was born when I was 20. Her brother was born when I was 23. His brother was born when I was 24, and he was born when I was 25. I was young. I was reckless. I made a bunch of poor decisions, and I'm so honest with them. I love them, and I will give them the world, but I shouldn't be a 32-year-old father with some big-ass kids. But you don't run away from anything you do, and I will always show them that you stand firm and responsible in your choices. However, I told them you don't have kids before marriage. You don't be reckless with your body. You don't make poor decisions. You value yourself as an individual and as a person. And that's something that growing up in an urban environment, especially with
I'll get the boys, Daddy.
how sexualized the music is and all that stuff, you're raised around that negativity. Like my kids don't listen to rap music. We don't turn that stuff on in the house because, like I said, you got to protect your body. You got to protect your mind. Because thoughts are things. So if I'm hearing murder, 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 kill, kill, kill on a consistent basis, then what am I going to manifest into my reality? But if my kids are hearing you're great, you're positive, you can do anything, what will that manifest in reality? Like I tell every one of these babies, y'all, don't I tell y'all genius every day?
Yeah.
Who a genius in this car?
Yeah.
Right? Johnny, you a genius?
Yeah.
Kobe, you a genius?
Yeah.
Jay, you a genius?
Oh, yeah.
Leah, you a genius?
Hell yeah.
And that's the problem, man. You got to gas your kids up. The world is going to tear you down. The world is negative enough. So as parents, we got to be one gassing our kids up. Put that hot air balloons. Send them to the sky. Tell them they can do anything, be anything, accomplish anything. And if the world want to knock them down, then that's when you get to see what type of children you raise. Do they get back up? Because Les Brown has said many times, and it's one of my favorite quotes, if you fall down, at least fall on your back. Because if you can look up, you can get up. And we live in a world that wants you to quit. So I want to thank everybody for tuning into this live stream, this Car Rider Conversations. We're going to start doing this 5 days a week. Let me have a conversation with the babies on the way home. Everybody spread love, spread positive vibes. Have a happy, healthy, wealthy, abundant day. And always remember, man, stay faithful to the God inside of you. Until next time, we out. Peace.